Welcome back to a new episode of the Leading Yourself podcast. Last week, I shared with you the ultimate secret to vibrant energy. If you missed that episode, I really recommend that you go and listen because I think you're going to find it very inspiring. And I promised last week that I was going to deep dive in some of my favorite wellness practices to help me have that vibrant energy that I was talking about last week. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. For me, I want to start by clarifying wellness isn't just about physical health. So on this episode, we're going to talk about nurturing that vibrant energy in every aspect of our life. We're going to talk about practices to help us feel alive, to thrive, to embrace each day with great energy. As you know, vibrant is my word of the year, and I'm committed to infusing every moment with its essence. And I'm going to share with you what I'm doing to do just that. Welcome to the Leading Yourself podcast. This is your host, Carolina de Arriba. I'm an HR professional, health and fitness coach, wife, mom, and above all things, a goal-getter. In this podcast, we're going to be digging into all things leadership, professional and career development, habits, and relationships. This is a podcast for those who want to become the best version of themselves. Those who have big dreams and are willing to embrace the journey and put in the work to achieve them. My goal is to share with you the tools, tips, and tricks to help you in your journey. So let's dig into today's episode. I have become a little obsessed with energy this year. I pick my word of the year to be vibrant, and I've been in this constant pursuit of feeling vibrant. And for you, feeling vibrant might mean something different than for me, but for me is about having this energy that radiates in everything that I do, in every aspect of my life. Is about feeling alive, feeling that I'm thriving every single day. And here's the thing with energy and vibrancy is that once you feel it, it becomes addictive. You want more of it because it feels so good that you want more and more and more. So on top of that, I'm also a little bit of a wellness junkie. I'm always looking for habits and practices and products that I can incorporate into my life, into my routines to help me feel at my best. So I'm really, really into protecting my energy and generating vibrant energy. And a lot of times I get asked, where do I get all this energy to get all of these things done, to do all what I do, to work, to be a mom, a wife, to have the podcast, all the things that I do? Well, today I'm going to share with you a little bit of my secret, even though I have to say that none of what I'm going to share with you works if you don't have what we talked about last week. So if you haven't listened to that episode, go back and listen to it because your energy is not just about these things that we're going to talk about today, but really being in alignment with who you truly are, being authentic to yourself. That is so critical to really feel vibrant. But today, we're talking about tactics and we're talking about habits and we're talking about things that I'm doing differently that in this season of my life are helping me feel vibrant. And I want to reinforce in this season of my life because the things that I'm doing right now look different than what I was doing 5 years ago, probably to feel vibrant, or the things that I will probably be doing 5 years from now, or a year from now, or even 6 months from now to feel this way. So these are things that are very personal and they're seasonal to you and where you are, but also seasonal to the seasons of the year. Because I have to say that my practices, even though I am very consistent with all these things that I'm going to share with you, they look slightly different in winter than they do in summer, for example. We'll talk a little bit about that. But in this season of my life, these are the things that I'm doing. And before I jump there, I just want to talk a little bit about wellness because, one, that is my theme of the month of May, which is almost over. But also, I think there is this great correlation between wellness and energy. And I think wellness a lot of times is not fully understood. My personal opinion. I think that wellness is a multifaceted concept that goes beyond physical health, as many people think or attribute this word to. It's about nourishing our bodies, our minds, our spirits to achieve this holistic state of well-being. And I think this holistic state of well-being is what translates into how we feel and that energy that I was talking about. For some people, wellness may mean finding balance in their daily routines, while for others, it might be involving prioritizing self-care practices, for example, that promote their mental and emotional well-being. It's about turning into our individual needs and taking proactive steps to enhance our overall quality of life, and in this case, our energy, right? Because in today's fast-paced world, it's easy to overlook the importance of holistic wellness. But when we embrace this holistic approach to well-being and to energy, we can cultivate resilience, we can reduce stress, we can experience more fulfillment, we can radiate more vibrant energy. So let me break down now what are some of these habits, practices, things that I'm doing to support this high vibe energy. So the first thing that I have to start with, I would say, is nutrition, because I firmly believe that what you eat influences in a great way how you feel. What you eat influences your energy. I mean, food is one of our, if not the main, source of energy for our bodies and our minds. And what we eat matters. It really does. And you probably know this as well, because you know and you have experience when you eat junk food versus when you eat whole foods and how that feels different in your body and how it feels different in your energy. So there's a few things that I'm really dialing in terms of my nutrition to help with my energy. Because again, nutrition is the foundation of our energy and our overall health. So 3 key things, there's more, but I want to highlight 3 here. The first thing is I'm really focusing on whole foods. And I would say 80% of my diet is made up of whole foods like vegetables, lean proteins, healthy fats, whole grains, fruits, real whole foods, meaning things that don't have a nutrition level, things that have a one ingredient, things that have a mother or come from the earth. 80% of my nutrition, I try to make it of whole foods, which can be challenging in today's world that everything is prepackaged and prepared, and anything that has a nutrition label, I look very carefully at the nutrition label to make sure that it's made with ingredients that I know. Because most of the things have a lot of fillers on it, on a lot of things that are not good for my health or are not good for my energy. So I focus on whole foods. And the thing with whole foods is that these foods are the most nutrient dense, and they're the ones that provide that sustained energy during the day. Now, among these whole foods, I do focus on balancing my macros. What do I mean by that? I track my macros, and I ensure that I'm taking a balanced intake of protein, fats, and carbohydrates based on my individual needs, which macros are very personal to every person. So I have my personal macros that I follow, And this helps me when I stick to those, and the days that I stick to those, especially when it's a few days in a row that I've been good at following these two things, meaning 80% whole foods and hitting my macros, I feel so much energized. It helps stabilize blood sugar levels. It helps me keep myself energized throughout the day, really. It helps with that brain fog after meals, gone. It's a combination of many things, but what I eat has a big impact on that. I'm going to talk more about the brain fog in a second. But whole foods, balanced macros. One thing that I also track and I'm making sure that I'm hitting every day is eating at least 25 grams of fiber per day. Fiber is crucial for digestive health. It helps us feel full and satisfied, and our gut, there's a lot of studies out there that our gut health impacts so many things in our body. So when it comes to nutrition, two key priorities for me is eating whole foods, balancing my macros, and ensuring that I'm getting enough fiber. There's other things, but I would say those will be the three that I would highlight, and the three that I'm really doubling down on recently, just because I've seen how when I'm consistent with these things, I can see a difference. I can feel a difference in my energy. The next wellness hack, I would say, is exercise and movement. And if you've been listening to the podcast, you know that I have exercise built into my morning routine. I think exercise is a crucial component in any wellness routine. And I personally make the point to stay active in different ways. The first one is regular exercise. I do this as part of my morning routine, as I was saying. I focus on weight training, and I very much prioritize that because that helps me build strength. And when I feel strong, I have better energy, but also helps with my bones and my muscles and so many other things, right? So I really prioritize weight training, and I do weight training at least three days a week minimum. I also incorporate cardio, like HIIT type exercises, 1 or 2 days a week. And I do also incorporate rest days, which I think is very important and something that I was not doing. Like I was exercising 7 days a week, and now I do incorporate some rest days. Now I make those active resting days where I might go for a walk or do yoga or something light in terms of the intensity, but I'm still moving, right? Daily movement is super important. I track my steps. I'm really intentional about moving throughout the day, because if I'm not, I can be sitting at my desk all day. I have a height adjustable desk, so I try to stand most of the time, and in between meetings, like walk around. Now that the weather is getting nicer, and I'm going to talk about this later, but I would walk outside to my deck and get some fresh air and then come back. Anytime that I have 5 minutes in between meetings, I try to do that. Stand up, move a little bit, stretch, go outside, and then get back to work. Those micro breaks are so helpful in helping me keep my energy going throughout the day. The next thing, talking about getting outside, is sunlight and nature. Getting enough sunlight is vital for our health and for our well-being. It helps balance our circadian rhythm. It helps balance our cortisol levels, and it helps with so many other things. We as human beings are designed to spend a lot of time outside, and in today's world, we spend most of the time indoors. So I'm really intentional about getting sunlight, and even though it's not enough, I do supplement with vitamin D for that reason, But I'm intentional that at least I get sunlight in the morning. So I try to get outside first thing in the morning after my morning routine to soak up some sunlight. This again helps regulate my circadian rhythm and boost my mood. If I can't get outside to like have my coffee, that would be the perfect situation, like having my coffee outside and getting some sunlight. At least I know I will get it because I walk my daughter to the bus stop, which is like right outside my house, but I'm out for 10 minutes, let's say, while I take her to the bus. So that exposure to sunlight first thing in the morning really helps with my energy, believe it or not. Then I try to at least take one break in the middle of the day where I go outside. And that typically is right after lunch, like I eat lunch. And if I'm not rushing to my next meeting, which I try to make as much as possible that I am not, because that's not a good situation to eat on a rush and run to the next meeting. But it happens more often than not. So built into my lunch, and especially now that the weather is so nice, I try to go outside and get some sunlight. Or during these small breaks that I talked about a minute ago, I try to step out, get some fresh air, get some sunlight. And then after dinner, I like to enjoy a walk outside when weather permits, like now this time of the year. That's why I was saying a lot of the things that I do around my energy change and are seasonal, right? Like in winter here in the Metro Detroit area, I can go outside. I guess I can, but I don't. I mean, who wants to go outside when it's so freaking cold outside? But now that the weather is nice, like going for a walk after dinner, that helps with my digestion, which helps me sleep better, which contributes to my energy, but also helps regulate like blood sugar and helps me unwind before the end of the day. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is a change that I've made to my morning routine. So one big change that I've made in my morning routine recently is my coffee. If you know me, you know that I love coffee and I'm very picky with my coffee. But my body was not loving coffee as much as I do, and my taste buds do. I drink coffee because of the taste. I don't need the caffeine in coffee to help me with my energy. I'm not that person, but I love the taste of coffee. But my body was not loving coffee, and I decided to change my morning coffee with mushroom coffee. You might have heard about mushroom coffee before. The reason why I changed to mushroom coffee is because I did a lot of research and I learned about the properties of the adaptogens and mushrooms in mushroom coffee and how it can help with so many body functions. But there's 7 reasons why my mind, my brain, my body is absolutely loving this mushroom coffee. And if you're interested in checking out the mushroom coffee that I am trying, because I would say not all are equal, and taste is super important to me, and I found one that I actually love, I will put the link on the show notes of today's podcast episode. But the first reason why I'm loving this change is unleashes my brain power. So mushroom coffee, most of them have, the one that I take at least has lion's mane mushroom, which is one of their key ingredients. And it's known for cognitive enhancing properties. So it helps improve your memory, your focus, your overall brain function, right? While you're sipping on your favorite beverage. In my case, that's coffee. And that brain fog in the afternoon is gone. So again, that is a combination of many things, but I have noticed especially a difference since incorporating mushroom coffee in my morning or replacing that morning coffee for mushroom coffee. The other thing is the sustained energy without the crash. It's mushroom coffee has a little bit of caffeine, but much less than regular coffee. It's also low acidity, right? But coffee has typically high acidity, but mushroom coffee has low acidity. And that pair with a lot of the ingredients in there, like lion's mane and chaga mushrooms, provides this smooth, sustained energy boost throughout the day. So no mid-morning crashes, no mid-afternoon crashes when you're taking this instead of regular coffee. Other benefit that I'm loving is that it supports stress relief. And I struggle with stress, right? So this becomes kind of a supplement for stress for me. And that is because of two of the ingredients that mushroom coffee has, which is chaga mushrooms and L-theanine, that help the body better manage stress. I feel calmer, I feel more relaxed, and I'm ready to tackle challenges as they come my way. It also helps fortify your immune system. So like chaga mushroom, for example, which is one of the key mushrooms in mushroom coffee, is packed with a lot of immune supporting compounds, like antioxidants and others. And it gives your immune system that extra support that it needs to keep you healthy and thriving. It also helps nourish your gut. So there are prebiotics in a lot of these mushrooms, which help support the gut microbiome. And that is essential for overall well-being. As I said, there is a connection between the gut and a lot of functions in our body. So if coffee used to upset your stomach, you have to try mushroom coffee, because I guarantee it won't, the same way that maybe traditional coffee do. One thing I love this particular brand of mushroom coffee that I am drinking right now is that it has also collagen. So I take collagen separately, but it gives me that extra boost of collagen, which it supports my skin, it supports my joints. Like it's an additional benefit that I love to have. And I do not like adding collagen in my coffee, because as much as they say that collagen doesn't have a taste, when I add collagen to my coffee, I can feel it and it doesn't taste the same. But I cannot taste the collagen on this mushroom coffee. And then the last thing why I'm loving this mushroom coffee is because it's delicious. It has this smooth taste. I like it hot. I like it iced. Now in summer, I like my coffee iced. And, I was really skeptical at the beginning, because I thought mushroom coffee, I don't want to drink mushrooms. And I was really concerned about the taste, but it really tastes like coffee. And it doesn't have any gritty sediments or aftertaste or any of those things that I thought I was going to experience. Now, no, not all mushroom coffees are made equal. So this one that I found, I really love. Again, I'll put the link on the show notes in case you are interested in giving it a try. And also when I order this one in particular, they give me a bunch of free gifts, which I always like free gifts. Anyways, moving on. Enough about coffee. There's other, I call it more advanced wellness practices, because they were advanced for me at the time, that I have incorporated into my daily routines that are really helping me with that vibrant energy. One of them is red light therapy. And red light therapy has been shown in many studies that have a lot of properties. I personally use red light therapy to reduce inflammation, to improve my health skin, to help me align with my circadian rhythm, to help balance my cortisol levels. A lot of benefits. But here's how I use red light therapy. So I use it in the morning after doing my exercise, whether I'm lifting weights or I'm doing cardio. Then I would hop on my treadmill and I will turn my red light therapy while I'm walking. And that mimics like sunlight in a sense, right? So it helps you, because when I wake up to exercise, it's still dark outside. So that light exposure versus like regular light, like artificial light, can mimic sunlight and help regulate your circadian rhythm. Now, I also have incorporated red light therapy when I'm doing breathing exercises, which I'll share in a minute. And I'm also using red light therapy for things like my skin, right? So I incorporated red light therapy in my skincare routine. The other thing is infrared sauna. While I don't have a sauna in my house and I don't go anywhere to access a sauna, I do have an infrared sauna mat, which I think is very convenient because you can have it at home. It doesn't take space. It's very inexpensive. I mean, inexpensive. Everything is relative, right? But it was just a few $100s, couple $100 versus buying and installing a sauna in your house. And that helps with detoxifying my body. It helps relax my muscles. So I like to do that in my evening routine before going to bed. It helps me relax before going to bed. It also helps with muscle recovery. So I exercise every day, and the infrared sauna helps with that muscle recovery as well. So those are two things that I have incorporated that probably I learn about in some podcast or YouTube video or someone that I follow that talk about it and sparked my curiosity, and I start doing research and learning more about these things and ended up incorporating them into my routine, and I'm feeling the difference as a result of incorporating them and being consistent. Like anything that I'm sharing today, consistency is key. So red light therapy and infrared sauna. And you know what, as I'm talking, I'll put links to all of these things on the show notes of the podcast episode if you're interested in learning more about any of the things that I'm sharing with you today. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about hydration. So I think staying hydrated is key to feeling good. If we want to have good energy, we need to stay hydrated. And for me, staying hydrated means two things mainly. One, that I'm drinking enough water. So there is this recommendation. Official recommendation is that you should be drinking at least half of your body weight, calculated in pounds, in ounces of water. So let's say that your weight, I'm just going to make math easy, is 100 pounds. That means you should be drinking at least 50 ounces of water per day. So that is the minimum, right? But then if you sweat, if you're in an area that is extremely hot, or as we get into the summer and it gets warmer outside, you probably should be drinking more than that. So I constantly have a water bottle with me and I'm drinking throughout the day. I drink in average between 90 and 120 ounces of water, which is way, way above that calculation that I share with you. But what I've learned more recently than not is that in the process of purifying water, so we can drink it and it's safe for us to drink, we extract a lot of the minerals in water. So you can be drinking a lot of water and still be dehydrated because you're drinking water that doesn't have all of those minerals. So drinking mineral water it's better than drinking purified water. But for me, one thing that I've been doing recently is I've been adding electrolytes to my water. Not all day long, right? Because too much electrolytes can also not be good for you. especially because all electrolytes have sodium in there, and excess of sodium can translate in water retention and other things. But I do add electrolytes in my water in the morning. So my first water bottle in the morning that I drink, or my 30-ounce water bottle that I carry with me all day, the first one I drink in the morning, I add electrolytes to it. Why that one in the morning? Well, two reasons. One, because when we wake up, we're the most dehydrated that we will be during the day, because it's been the longest that we've been without drinking water. And the second reason is because I'm exercising, and I'm typically sweating more while I'm exercising. So I like to have electrolytes during my morning routine. So that's with hydration. And being dehydrated can translate in more brain fog, can translate in you not having energy or feeling tired all day. So if you're pursuing vibrant energy, you need to stay hydrated. Drinking hot water and adding some electrolytes and minerals to your water. Another thing that I'm doing that is kind of related with water, in the theme of water, is cold showers. So there's a lot of research about cold water therapy or ice therapy. I have considered a plunge, but I'm not there yet. But I do cold shower. So the last 30 minutes, I'm already in the shower. So the last 30 minutes, I do a cool shower, and it helps boost circulation, reduce inflammation, and invigorates our senses. So it really helps you to really wake up. Like if you were asleep, it really wakes you up, and it gives you this boost of energy and mental sharpness is what I've experienced. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about skincare and sleep. So for me, incorporating skincare has been part of my wellness routine. And you'll see, what does skincare has to do with energy? Well, I think that being concerned about how we look drains our energy. So if I can do anything to look good and to make sure that I have healthy skin, that helps as well with me feeling more confident. And when I'm more confident, I have better energy. So that's my explanation for that one. But yeah, I have been incorporating more aspects into my skincare, especially at night. And one thing that I have incorporated, which I mentioned before, is a red light therapy, like this red light mask for my skin. More importantly, sleep. Protecting my sleep is secret for me. Like, prioritizing good sleep hygiene ensures that I can get the quality of rest that I need every night. For me, sleep is so precious. Like, if I don't sleep well, I can feel it the next day. So I'm always protecting my sleep. I'm building things around my evening routine to help me sleep better, like the sauna, which I don't do every day, especially now that it's getting warmer. I do less of it. But things like that, or reading a book, or my skincare, things that help me relax, so I can have a better quality sleep. Those are things I'm doubling down on, because the better my sleep, the better my energy the next day. And for me, I think that having a regular bedtime, making it dark and cool environment, it really helps with sleep. So I typically go to bed when it's dark, and I make sure I like to have the temperature in the room set in a way that I will need a blanket at night, even during summer, because that helps me sleep better throughout the night. And then limiting screen time before bedtime. That is the most challenging part for me. because I use my phone it relaxes me to scroll through social media, for example. But I'm trying to get out of that habit because the light of the phone, the blue light of the phone, can interfere with the quality of the sleep. So that's that. And whatever you're doing, protect your sleep. Your sleep is so important. I think we underestimate how important our sleep is for our overall health and our well-being and our energy. Okay, one last thing, supplements. So I do take supplements. I get a lot of questions about what supplements do I take. I do take a bunch of supplements. But some of my go-tos are omega-3s. Those support heart and brain health. It helps reduce inflammation. I take vitamin D because typically as human beings, we don't get enough through just exposure to sunlight. And before I continue with supplements, all of these I have discussed with my doctor, right? So I think that is super critical. A lot of times we just hear about a supplement and we go and add it to our routine. And I am not a doctor, I'm not an expert, so always check with your doctor because it's not only what supplements you take, but what quantities of those supplements you need for your unique needs. So for me, as omega-3s is vitamin D. I also, right now, I'm taking probiotics for my gut health, but that's not something that I take regularly. I take breaks because otherwise there's been studies or research that said they're not effective. So because you want diversity of your microbiome, and if you're always taking the same probiotics, it doesn't help with that. So, but right now I am taking probiotics. If you consider my mushroom coffee a supplement, that would be a supplement that I'm taking. I am taking also collagen. You can say that electrolytes are a supplement. So I'm adding electrolytes on my morning water. Those are some of the key supplements that I am taking right now. There are other things that I take based on need, like magnesium, for example, which can help with sleep. So those are some of the foundational things that I take supplement-wise. Do they have a direct impact on my energy? I wouldn't say so. I say the one that does, or the two that do, is the mushroom coffee and the electrolytes, which I talked about before. So these are some of my favorite wellness practices to keep my vibe high and my energy levels up. I hope that you found some inspiration and tips that you can incorporate into your own routine. And I want to remind you that wellness is a journey, and it's all about finding what works best for you, right? These things that I'm doing are helping me in this season of my life. You might be in a different season. You might need different things, but I hope this at least sparks some inspiration of what are some small adjustments that you can make in your routine to protect your energy, to have more vibrant energy throughout the day. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you found this helpful, do me a favor and share it with someone that you think can benefit from today's content. Okay, my friend, that's all I've got for you today. But before you go, 2 quick reminders. Number 1, if we're not already friends on Instagram, let's get connected. You can find me as Leading Yourself Podcast. Number 2, make sure you're subscribed to the podcast so you never miss an episode. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am incredibly grateful that you're in this journey with me. I want to leave you with one last thought. I want to remind you that you're destined for more, and that every step that you take brings you closer to becoming that best version of yourself. Embrace each day as a chance to learn, grow, and chase your dreams. The world needs you to shine brightly, so go out and show up fully and authentically. Take care, and I'll see you next time.